Welcome to the self-assessment procedure. We are going to step through the self-assessment process of the reviews from start to finish, from when you actually get to fill out your own review all the way through when you acknowledge it after you've talked to your manager. So the first step we're going to do is to log into UltiPro. I have a test user. His name is actually Tom Hanks that we're going to log in as. Just like you would log into UltiPro as an employee. Tom is a test user, and I do have 2 reviews out there for him. You would only have 1. So we're going to go into my inbox. We go to Request, Inbox, on the home page. And again, once I'm on the home page, I'm going to go to my inbox. I am going to see my employee assessment review, and I'm going to click on the Edit to be able to open up that review and start working on it. Again, you're only going to have the 1, and it's going to say Employee Assessment and Edit. This is the main screen of the review. We can see that it first comes to me, Tom Hanks. It then goes to my manager, up to their manager. Again, these are test cases, so just a test user. And then it's going to go to an administrator, which is actually HR. To start the review, we're going to click on the first start box, which is the competency section. Once in this section, we're going to go through each individual competency. You have the opportunity to rate it. So here I am. I can read, rate. Shows you if you hover what it would be, a 3, a 5, and it'll change as you click. You can definitely make any changes that you need. Type in your comments. And then continue on to the next. Rate, add comments, so on and so forth. If you have a question about the rating scale, up at the top, there's a link on the rating scale. It gives you some descriptions of that, more detail. And on some of the competencies that are a little bit longer, you can click on the Show Details, and it'll bring up a little bit more information and the type of competency that it is. The Achieving Excellence is one of the core values. And what you're going to do is scroll through each of the competencies. Again, rate and add your comments. I want to be careful that you don't miss anything. Rate, add my comments. Rate, add your comments. And right now, because this is the first step in the process, my manager hasn't added anything in yet. The review comes to you first as the employee, and then will be passed up to your manager for them to complete their portion. Your manager will not see your comments or your rating until you send it to them. As you're adding your comments and doing things, it's always a great habit to save. And this also brings up, this all stays in draft until you send it, the send button down here, until you actually send it to your manager. So I can go back in. It's changed to an edit because I've actually made some changes to it. I can change my ratings. I can alter my comments. And then I can also come back down to where I left off and pick up the process again. Continue to rate and add my comments. Rate and add my comments. Again, if I need to answer the phone, go to a meeting, I save it, I can come back to it. It'll be in the same spot that it was when I left it. Go into Edit. Going to scroll all the way down this time. Rate my comments. It's giving me an overall score at the bottom, so it gives me an idea of how it's all averaging out. As I'm rating individual competencies, again, I should be rating and adding my comments for each. Too much pressure to type in front of everybody, so I won't type in all of the boxes, but definitely the feedback that you give is valuable to your manager. And so I'm going through, and I'm back up to where I was. I can go ahead and hit save. And again, this saves it in a draft mode until I'm ready to pass it on to my manager. I can go through and I can add in developmental comments. So anything that I would like to do for next year or that I did well last year, definitely can talk to your manager about what should be entered there. And then overall comments, if you just have a general, a little bit more details that I would give. Okay, year. And then I save that. Again, edit. I didn't actually add any developmental comments, which is why that started green still, but that's okay. I can go through and then I can send it to my manager. Again, it stays in the draft mode. If I were to log out of AltiPro, if I go to a meeting, because I've hit that save button, it's going to stay here and wait for me until I hit that send button. Nobody else, my manager can't see it. It's still within me, and it's going to stay there until I do hit send. So I'm going to, when I'm ready, maybe go in and review it one more time. Yep, everything looks great. Save button. And then I'm ready to go, and so now I'm going to send it to my manager. It's going to say, are you really sure you want to do that? Because you're not going to be able to make any more changes. I say yes. And then that review goes off to my manager. I'm going to go back to my home page. So this is going to go to your manager. It's going to go to your manager's manager. It's going to go to HR. Your manager's going to have a conversation with you about your review, and then it's going to come back to you for approval. So obviously we're going to fast forward in time here. I'm going to come back into AltiPro. I'm going to log in. I'm going to come back into my inbox, and I'll see now I have a review that is waiting for my acknowledgement. And when I go into this by clicking on the edit link, I can see my manager's rating, which I've already had that discussion, so I've already talked to them about it. I can go in and view each of, now I can see my manager's comments if he had put them in. I can scroll through and see all of the detail. I can see any overall comments that were added by my manager. There weren't any because it's just a test. Hopefully you would have some. And then when I'm ready, I can go in, I can put final comments, whether it's additional positives, whatever it happens to be. You can put those final comments in, and then you're going to go ahead and sign and complete. You also can print a copy if you wanted to for your record. But at this point, you're just going to review it and then sign and complete it. So are you sure you want to do this? You hit yes, and then you're finished. And I don't have anything in my inbox. I go on my home page. There's an A there. You've completed your self-assessment.